So how similar are you to like your characters? Because I know as King Liam explained to us last week, the underlying theme of it is about polyamory.
Yeah,
or
polyamory.
Polyamory in different relationships or whatnot. Have you been in a polyamorous relationship before?
I've never been in a polyamorous relationship, but there was a person that I was in a relationship with previously wanted me to partake in that.
Okay.
And
was that the deal breaker for you guys?
It wasn't the deal breaker for us. It was more than that. For me, I'm a type of person I have to have a moment to process.
Okay.
And I'm all about processing. I'm all about energy. I'm all about who is the people that we're going to be dealing with and what are their motives.
So you were open to the idea.
Yes, but the thing was that I was. But I needed to take my time. Exactly. I needed to take my time, and the person that I was with was not willing to have that time with me to get there. He was already there, but he was not allowing me to get to that place.
How did that get expressed from the person?
It was bumping heads. It was trial and error. It was always an argument.
Was it ancillary arguments? Oh, why are the drapes open? Or is it on the subject? Like, why are you taking so long?
Yeah. It was it was a little bit of everything. A little bit of everything. Yeah, it was a little bit of everything. Okay. And so when I finally was getting there, then there was a situation that happened that he wanted me to do, and I already told him up front, I'm not going to do that, but I will be open and honest with you. Okay. And he went off. And hands were put on. And somebody had to go in Baltimore on him. So yeah. So it was.
This person was abusive to you.
Is that what we're saying? At that moment, not on.
But not throughout the relationship.
I'm not trying to paint a regular picture.
Right.
Not on a regular basis. No, but at that moment.
Was that the first time?
Yeah, that was the first time.
And that was the first time.
Yeah.
And the last, I hope, right?
No, it didn't. No.
Okay. Like a sucker punch or just or a push or what did it? A lot of people don't know what the signs of abuse are.
So when you're having a conversation with someone, right? And it's a distance or whatever, and a person is trying to apologize for something that they did, but they're very condescending and they're laughing at the same time. And you're looking at them sideways. And like, this is you're giving me an apology and you're laughing at the same time about it.
This doesn't compute.
It doesn't.
What do you mean?
So for me, I didn't say anything, but I had a look on my face, and the person did not like the look. And I'm like, well, this is my face. I can make whatever. I'm not saying anything. And so they kept saying, well, I appreciate you don't do that. I said, I'm not doing anything. I can have a look or what have you.
So this one you changed. Like you're explaining to us, like what are you talking about?
Right. Okay. So a little bit, what happened after that was I said something. I said to the point of, nobody asked you to, or something that, and they just charged at me.
What?
Yeah, they charged at me, and we were scuffling and scuffling. The person is bigger than I am, and so he had me down, and I finally got up, and I was like baffled. It
just came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere.
So there were no. Let me ask this. So there were no prior signs of like slamming a door.
The person always slammed doors. Like
so that's what I'm saying. Like
even in a discussion, we were having a discussion and all of a sudden, boom, you acting off like you're a 2-year-old and having a temper tantrum and you slamming doors. Like we can't have a simple conversation, even though you may not agree. We might not agree with it.
I think the power point in that is that a lot of people say that they don't see the signs. And I think that you're one of those. You saw the signs, and it did reach a certain point, and you were wise enough to get the hell out of there. But a lot of people don't.
He was wise enough to get the hell out of there.
Okay,
that was my
house.
Okay.
Got it. This is my house.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my house.
You protected the fortress.
Oh, it's my house.
So either way it goes.
Okay.
So either way it goes. But a lot of people, they don't have the fortitude that you may, as far as like, okay, an angle go like that here. They stay in it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you let us know the signs.
Yeah, I was even willing to work through that because it was in my mind, I'm like, okay, it was the first and only time that it ever happened. So in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe we can get through this. Maybe we need to go to counseling and figure this out.
Okay.
But then other things started to trickle down that just didn't sit well in my spirit.
Okay.
Because when you say that a certain person is just a friend, but I see something different, and
your discernment kicks in.
And my discernment.
You're not gonna make me feel dumb about my discernment.
You're not, and I have strong discernment.
That part.
And to be honest with you, I was so correct because he's with that person. That he always said that he was just friends with.
Really?
Yes, he's with that person. So you can't tell me. You can't tell me that I'm wrong for what I'm saying, sir.
And that was when
you can't tell me I'm not wrong.
Now that makes sense. So answer me this. How did all of this inform your character? How did this experience inform your
my gosh.
Let's bring it back to bring it back to your success.
Yeah, absolutely. So
how did this make you stronger?
Right?
I want to know.
So I found out from my best friend that I inspired him since he's been here. He said I inspired him even before then, but he said I inspired him since he's been in Atlanta, and he know my personal situation. So some of Fukc, Marry, Kill.
We get one per episode. One.
I'm sorry.
Everybody else, be careful.
I'm so sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. We gotta promote.
F, Marry, Kill. Right. So he infused some of what I went through into F, Marry, Kill. And so that's how Austin is a little like Terrance Styyles to the point of being apprehensive to be a part of a polyamorous relationship. And once Austin possibly, for those, the fourth episode is out, so you can see what I'm talking about, or listen to what I'm talking about. He finally gets to that point. Terrance we're getting to that point. But as you see, it took some time. Yeah. Because Lux kept pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing. And so now Austin is like, okay, at first I was like, what the hell? But then now I'm like, well, why not? We've been spending a lot of time together. So, so in those instances, that's Terrance.
On Twitter, I was online. You also have an OnlyFans. And I know, I'm just going to say it like this. I mean, I'm a straight no chaser. You also have an OnlyFans. And I know your partner previously, he had one as well. Did that influence you to get one? What were the factors behind you starting or choosing to do an OnlyFans? Because everybody has their own story behind why they did it.
Hold, can I add this to what you're saying?
What's it?
Not just the OnlyFans, but I have noticed, within the past year, you just period are more expressive than I've ever known you to be.
Yes.
So I want to attach that onto his question.
Yes. So this is so good question. So I decided when I turned 40 last year that I needed to come from out of I said box earlier, but just out of a space that I felt I had to be so conservative and the boy next door, because I was that way for many, many years. And I came, as I mentioned, I'm an only child, so my mother was a single parent, and I was always attached. My mother always had me attached to her. And even when I was trying to get away, it was like she always had me at the umbilical cord. And so when I moved to Atlanta, it was like my way of like being free and being in my own realm and not having to rely on her for anything, or her for not to have to rely on me for a lot. And so when I turned 40, I was like, and I was in my relationship at the time, I was, I said, well, let me get out of my comfort zone. And I did to a certain extent. I just, like I said earlier, I wasn't moving fast enough. So top of the year of this year was a really, really rocky year, of course, for everybody. But my mom had lost her husband. But it wasn't due to Corona. But lost her husband earlier this year. And so when I went home, and at that time I just was going through the breakup. So they were both happening at the same time. So I had to be strong for my mother, but at the same time, nobody was there to be strong for me. It was the worst feeling ever. The worst feeling ever. So there was a burden that I had on me for 20 plus years that my mom had put on me. Yeah, and I kept it. I kept looking, kept that burden, and it, like I said, it wasn't mine to carry. And what happened was one of my mom's brothers passed away from complications of HIV and AIDS. And I was 17. I was in high school. I was in my senior year of high school. And the crazy thing is, he was born on Valentine's Day. He passed on Memorial Day of that year. Wow. I'm trying not to get emotional because every time I talk about him, I always cry. But no, I'm gonna be strong. So once I came out to my mom, I was late. I came out like 22 to my mom, and I came out to her on Mother's Day. Of all days.
Happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Right. So immediately she thought of her brother. Immediately. And ever since then, she always said, I don't want you to be like your uncle. And I've always, since then, before I let the burden go, I've always been, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be like my uncle. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be in my mind, in my mind, I didn't think I was gonna live to be 40. To see 40. My uncle passed, he was like 37, 38. Wow. So I didn't think that I was going to live to see 40 because my uncle didn't. And I already had this burden that, I'm going to be like my uncle. And so once everything happened at the top of the year, the Corona, my breakup, my mom's husband passed, I went to my mother. I said, look, I can't do this. I can't carry this burden. It's not mine to carry. Yeah. I said, only thing I can tell you is that I'm taking care of my health the best way that I know how. Okay. Each and every day. I'm a very healthy person. I work out. I do what I need to do to stay healthy. And, that's the only thing I can give you. Yeah. You know, I'm a grown man. I'm gonna live my life, and I'm gonna live my life the way I want to. And when my mother looked at me and she was like, "Well, I just want to." I said, "You don't have to worry about me. You don't have to worry about me. I'm doing my best that I can." You said you raised me to be a strong individual. Yeah. She didn't raise me to be a man. She raised me to be an individual with morals and standards, and going to live life the best way that I know. I know how, and with the tools that she gave me. So if my mother was to go today tomorrow, she knows that I'm gonna be all right, and that's what I was trying to let her know, that I'm gonna be okay. So once I let that go, I was like, you know what? I started letting myself be free last year, but then this year I was just like, you know what? I'm single again. I'm dating. I'm living more freer than I ever been in my life, and I love every bit of it. Yes. Every bit of it. I have no regrets of how I've come more in tune to my body, in tune to my spirituality, my finances, my mental state, like all of that. I seek therapy, as often as possible. So I'm not ashamed to say that. I think our community is we have this stigma that we're not supposed to seek a therapist and things that talk to the Lord. Yes, you can talk to the Lord, but you also need to see somebody that has the credentials to help you. Yes. And I don't have a problem admitting that I seek therapy, because
that's a good thing.
Yes,
a great
I go through anxiety. I take anxiety medication. I have moments of anxiety. I'm not afraid to admit that. Yeah. I'm not perfect. A lot of people, I think, when they saw me the cookie cutter of Terrance, they didn't ever see that there are other facets of me because I never showed it. Yeah. And so not that I was hiding it, but I thought that's all I was supposed to show.
People lock you into the form that they like.
Yes. And I was this cookie cutter, boy next door type person. And I was like, well, I have sex appeal. I'm this, I'm that. And nobody knew it because I didn't show it. Yeah. And now I'm in a space where I don't give a damn. I'm going to show who I am, the multifacets of me. You either like it or you don't.
What'd you say?
Period.
I'm here now, so what's up?
I'm here now, so what's up?
Yeah. That's it. It's no gray area with me. You either like me or you don't. It's either black or white. And so that's Terrance Styyles. Like me or don't like me. I prefer that you don't like me. That way I ain't got to give energy to you to befriend you. Yeah. Or to say, hey, how you doing? I could be like, oh, I don't know you.
So this freedom is what led you to make the decision to
I did it to test. I'm not actively on it. I did it. I tested for a few months and it was cute or whatever, but that's not my bread and butter. Like I work, I'm on my grind, and I have other facets of money, how I make money. It was just a little thing that I did just to see what the whole hype is about. You know what I mean?
But you're also an artist. This is my
right. I'm also
I think that we need to stop vilifying certain platforms. Right. I think that anything that is available that can push you forward is a tool, and it's what you decide to do with it that makes it good or bad. Yeah. You're an artist at the end of the day. Yeah. Even if being on an OnlyFans, there's a way that you can present being an exhibitionist that is tasteful. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or enticing without being lewd. Yeah. If that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I did it just because I wanted to express myself in a different way. And I was like, okay, let me just try this out. Like I said, I'm not actively on it like that, but I've tried it out. I've had some, different situations that transpired. They were fun. They were, I was like, taking me out of my comfort zone and enjoyment and things of that sort, but it's not my day-to-day. My day